Salisbury Center, we are ready for our next fight. Making his way to the cage and fighting out of the red corner, it's Julien Ziraldo.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to Cagezilla 85 as we move into our second official fight of the evening. We have Julien Ziraldo making his way to the cage, fighting out.
Yeah, here we go. Julien Ziraldo out of Hanover Boxing. He was super excited to get on this one. He was supposed to be on this card with his teammate. His teammate wasn't able to make it, but Julien stuck on this card. An exciting fighter coming out of Hanover Boxing. I know his coach was really excited. They got a great team and great club there out of Hanover Boxing, and really excited to see young Julien here on this card.
Absolutely the case, Brent. I really do think that Julien could be one of these rising stars here in Cagezilla with a great future ahead of him. Striking focused fighter, and I think that that's an archetype that's been doing exceptionally well as of late. Cagezilla gets ever more aggressive, and sometimes all you need to do is throw hands and you walk away on top.
Yeah, excited to see him in here. Here we go. Julien Ziraldo making his Cagezilla debut. This young guy looks focused. I see a strong look in his eye, so really excited to see him in here.
And his opponent, making his way to the cage and fighting out of the blue corner, it's Misbah Badakhshi.
That being said, Brent, if there is anyone who you don't want to face off against in a Cagezilla debut, it is Misbah Badakhshi. This guy's got a killer instinct and a killer look as well, ready to make his mark and show Julien Ziraldo just what a Cagezilla welcome looks like.
Yeah, Misbah, he was on a couple Cagezillas ago. He was up against a tough customer in Jacob Pays. He had a war with Jacob Pays, who's got a guy who's got a ton of experience inside the cage, and Misbah took him to a split decision. Man, they had a heck of a war. They were talking smack. They were throwing leg locks up. They were doing spinning stuff, and Misbah's a tough guy. He's floating around gyms. He was at Elevate before. Now he's here with Belt Chasers MMA, and got Sodiq Yusuf in his corner, and looking to make a statement here inside the Cagezilla cage.
Yeah, absolutely the case. I really do think that Misbah Badakhshi, he's looking to find his stride here in Cagezilla, looking to find his stride with a bunch of different gyms as well, like you're saying. But regardless, the potential he has is nearly unmatched, and I cannot wait to see him take to the cage here.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for three-minute rounds in the Cagezilla Featherweight division. It is brought to you by our friends at Lindsay Automotive Group. You'll love it at Lindsay. And now, starting out, fighting out of the red corner, standing 5'10" and weighing in at 145 pounds, fighting out of Hanover Boxing, it's Julien Ziraldo! And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 5'11" and weighing in at 145 pounds, fighting out of Belt Chasers MMA, it's Misbah Badakhshi! Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for three-minute rounds in the Cagezilla Featherweight division. It is brought to you by Lindsay Automotive Group, and your referee is Gabe Balajic.
All right, and we're jumping into this one. Third fight overall, second official fight of the day. Misbah Badakhshi got a lot to prove here, but Julien Ziraldo in the exact same boat, making his debut. He wants to start that momentum early off in one of the most cutthroat divisions that we have here in Cagezilla. Both these fighters squaring off. We have that orthodox stance for both of them. looking to approach one another right now. Misbah happy to take the outside orbit, and look at these leg kicks coming out already. Good sense of where to start playing and planting your flags from Julien Ziraldo.
Yeah, nice stuff from Julien. He's looking sharp. Misbah was waiting for his time to pounce, and he did so. But Julien's weathering that storm just nicely. He came out with some beautiful leg kicks into some good counters of his own. Wow, both scoring there on the inside.
Yeah, and I like the fact that both of them are respecting one another. This is quite a range that we're seeing. Not something very often during close stance you see these two so willing to back off against one another, but those leg kicks have already, I think, made their mark on both sides, and I like the fact that both are trying to fight fire with fire right there. You can see Badakhshi doing that little hop, I think maybe in pain right there, clashing those shins together. We're going to see whether or not Julien Ziraldo will be able to keep center stage, though, as Badakhshi fires right back with a solid three-piece, most of it guarded.
Yeah, Julien staying poised. Badakhshi also firing back with some beautiful hooks. Someone's getting ready to connect real solid, I have a feeling. Both guys throwing some nice...
Very upright, yep.
Yeah, both guys throwing some nice head kicks that are just out of the way. And, nice left hook from Julien.
Yeah, I like that start, Julien. That being said, almost gave up leg control and now maybe giving up back control as well. Misbah doing a good job of trying to reverse momentum. Deep chase across the cage. Luckily, it looks like Julien's done a good job of getting himself stable in a good position with those bladed hips to prevent a takedown. And Misbah's going to tire if he stays here for too long, trying to make something out of this.
Yeah, great composure from Julien. Getting back, he was back to the cage because he had Misbah almost taking his back there with that body lock, and great way to turn back and face his opponent and get back to square one. And man, he really tagged him with that left hook, man. He put him almost down.
Well, we're back to neutral once again. Let's see whether or not the red corner can keep that momentum going. Misbah freewheeling, really solid shot to the head. And look at that, a little bit of a slip. I don't think Ziraldo was expecting this tempo. That being said, Misbah goes down to the knee, tries to make a takedown out of this, and now all of a sudden Ziraldo's giving up back control. This could be a disaster.
Man, just when Ziraldo capitalizes with a beautiful strike, he turns his back. I'm not sure. I don't get that.
Unbelievable, and Ziraldo's going to struggle in this position, giving up a lot already, and Badakhshi is well known for being able to lock in from any small advantage. You give him an inch, he's going to take a mile. He may take a full knockout here, and now past the guard, trying to rear up and beat down. That's going to be enough for Gabe Balanchin to say, hey, back off. I do wonder what the call was or what the problem was there.
Yeah, that was a late hit. That was way late. It depends what the ref's going to do with that, but that was considerably after the bell, with a hammer fist there, and so.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was uncalled for. If he takes a point, that might be the right call.
Yeah, we're going to see exactly what happens there. It does definitely look like Ziraldo was aware of the fact that that was a late hit, given his gesture to the crowd. And we are seeing that movement over there with the one finger. Is that taking down a point?
Referee Balanchin taking a point. I thought that was, a late hit's a late hit, and that was very much late. Maybe he didn't realize it in the heat of the battle, but he'll see it in there in the replay.
All right. As we get into round number 2, Misbah, I think, realizes the weight beyond that now, understanding that by losing that point there, that could really shift the whole balance of what was a pretty even scuffle up till that last takedown attempt here. That being said, the damage that I think Badakhshi has done so far could be enough to just get him ahead, especially as Julien Ziraldo still has a lot that he's going to have to work through in regards to what has been a very solid defensive game out of Badakhshi.
Wow, nice spinning hook kick attempt there from Badakhshi. But Julien staying composed. This young guy, very composed for the amount of time he's had in the cage, and starting to come on. I think he's still got a lot more in the gas tank.
Yeah, I definitely hope that that's the case. He's been reeling back a little bit from whenever we are seeing damage being done by Badakhshi. But right there, you see a little bit of an overinvestment from that blue corner. That being said, even with overhooks, it is going to be Ziraldo with his back to the cage yet again. Can he leverage out of the situation?
Badakhshi's such a wild animal in there. I mean, man, even when he gets clocked, he's coming forward and he's trying to get in on the legs and scramble and make it a dirty fight. So, you know, the times that Julien has been able to capitalize have been the clean strikes that he's really landed on his face and put Badakhshi down. But really, those are the big ones.
Oh!
And look at Badakhshi here with top control. That nice takedown.
That was a brilliant call there by Badakhshi. He knew that because of the overhooks, he couldn't take them down from the shoulder, so instead he looks for the legs, and I don't think Ziraldo saw that coming. Sent sprawling, going to get into full guard. Now trying to reverse things, but it's going to be a pickup and slam, and now once again it's Ziraldo giving up the back.
Yep, Ziraldo. Oh, nice with a position change there. Now he's going to see if he can capitalize.
And Chris and Brent, this is Chris Fuller down here at ringside. I just wanted to let you guys know, first of all, my headset is now fixed, so I'm back on with you guys. But the crowd in this fight has completely flip-flopped. It started out when I announced the fighters, Badakhshi came out, the crowd went nuts for him. But now, because Julien Ziraldo has landed such a flurry of punches here, big shots, the crowd has swung his way.
Wow. Yeah, and maybe they saw that late hit. You know, sometimes they go for the guy that's like, hey, man, that wasn't nice.
Yeah, that definitely drew some boos and stuff from the crowd for sure.
But I think...
Well, Badakhshi definitely trying to reverse momentum here. It looks like both of these guys pretty tired off of that last floor exchange. Back up to their feet now, but the strikes have slowed down just a bit here. Badakhshi, you see, keeping that very high guard now, attempting to just keep things on his side. But at the same time, Ziraldo knows what the burden is for him. He needs to, with the crowd behind him, make a mark against Badakhshi here and now.
Yeah, Julien landing some heavy leather, and but Badakhshi very much still in this, landing some crazy shots as well. Oh, nice takedown to finish the round. Look at that.
Wow.
Look at Julien Ziraldo.
I'll tell you what, he is giving Misbah all he can handle.
Yeah, and we're talking big game about how good Misbah is known to be. The fact that somebody in their Cagezilla debut is doing so much to cause Misbah to get into these scrambling situations means that I think that right now Julien Ziraldo is building a game plan that could come to full fruition here in round number 3 and maybe lead to the red corner walking away with the victory.
Yeah, it's hard to say what the judges are scoring it like.
And I got to be honest, I might be the opposite of you two. I'm going for Ziraldo right now. I think Misbah's, with his takedowns and stuff and top control, all that stuff, he's doing a good job with that. But shots landed, power shots, I've got to give it to Julien. I think
100%.
He's doing a great job.
I'm with you on that, actually.
And you know, we always talk about this, but when you never know what any of the judges are scoring it on. Like I score effective striking much higher than some fighters might. I mean, some judges might score ring control or takedowns and stuff. So We'll see. Maybe it won't even go that far with the way this fight's been going.
Yeah, no, these guys. But like you say, I think Julien has landed the more significant strikes from the feet. Putting Misbah down twice in the first round and getting that point. So I think the judges probably got it going his way. I think Misbah's got to come out here and have a huge third round.
Well, that could have been the start and end of it if you let one with that spinning heel kick. Misbah, I think, realizes that he does have to make that big mark early. And I will say, one big thing to note is that whenever we get to a takedown where it is Misbah in control, he's getting close to getting a submission move going. It's just that time and time again, so far at the very least, the red corner has been able to wriggle their way out. But Ziraldo can't keep gambling on that. One more attempt from Misbah to get to the ground could be enough for him to put this away.
Yeah, and what we're seeing now in this final round here, Chris, is a veteran fighter, a ring-savvy fighter taking on a debut fighter. Not taking anything away from Ziraldo, but as we go deeper in this fight, that's what really starts to shine through, the experience.
Yeah, nonetheless, Ziraldo holding the center of the cage and staring him down.
Ooh.
Nice front kicks there coming from Misbah. I saw one almost come up to his chin, so Ziraldo better be wary of that.
Yeah. For as much as you would imagine that Ziraldo with those leg kicks would be the main kind of Muay Thai boxing hybrid fighter here, Badakhshi's been able to answer back and in many cases get the better of these exchanges. Now, damage has mostly been done over on the red side, as you said before, but here and now we are going to get a low blow that unfortunately is going to put Badakhshi over to the side for the time being. During this recovery process, outside of recovering from the damage, what do you think is going through his mind in regards to what he needs to do for the rest of this round?
Catch his breath.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly. I don't think he got his hit as hard as he needs some air in those lungs right now, Brent. I think you're right. It looked like a glancing blow that part of his shin caught him in the cup. I wouldn't. All right, stop it out.
Yeah, right. Make it at least seem like, hey, that one hurt. But yeah, in the third round, you get glanced in the groin. I think taking a breath never hurts.
I'm not mad about it.
Hey, it works for both guys too. Hey, yeah. Julian's getting his breath as well.
All right, here we go. Both fighters coming right back to the center of the Cagezilla logo.
And starting off back in neutral position. Once again, it's the right corner trying to space, deep kicks, late kicks, and it's just going to be Badakhshi crashing through everything to try to get upon the head of his opponent. And this is looking like it's going his way for the time being.
Wow.
Ziraldo trying the best he can to try to answer back to this flurry of blows, but this just is not his speed, not his style, and Badakhshi could be trying to take this one home.
Brent, are we watching Forrest Griffin and Stephen Bonner right now? What is this?
I mean, these guys are leaving it all out there. I know Misbah was talking to me before this fight that this might be his last one, surprisingly. He was saying something about that. So maybe he's fighting like just that. He reminds me of that right now. I hope it is not. I told him he's too young in his career for this to be the last one, but Ziraldo, I'm really impressed with his poise, being a debut fighter and hanging in the pocket and trading with Misbah. Look at that.
Big hook attempt here, and then we are going to see Ziraldo try to follow through on that. Misbah splitting off, grasping towards his groin again. I think that was another low blow. We're going to see whether or not Badakhshi can recover from that. He's not looking too good.
Guys, I don't know if you can hear this crowd right now, but they are incensed by that one.
Yeah, you can never tell when they boo with a low blow. Are they booing at the guy who did it, or are they booing at the guy who didn't really get hit in the nuts?
Exactly. They're booing Badakhshi right now for sure. That was 2 in a row that were questionable at best. But you take what the other fighter gives you, right, Brent?
Yep.
If he's gonna kick you low, you might as well take advantage of it.
You can always do it at least once. We'll see what referee Balajic says about this second one. Oh.
Yeah, I can hear the chants coming through on the microphones all the way here in Texas. What is exactly the sentiment going on there? Badakhshi definitely taking his time, trying to recover from the situation, talking to Gabe Balajic now. We're going to see whether or not this fight will in fact continue, and I hope it does. Both of these fighters getting this breathing space in room, I think, are going to go out guns blazing.
It's definitely going to continue. I think Gabe Balajic was trying to work through whether he was going to deduct a point, since that's the second low blow of this round. But it looks like he's not going to, and we're going to get the action started back up here in just a second.
Yeah, I think Misbah's trying to milk maybe a point deduction.
Yep, that's exactly what the discussion was. I popped my headphones off just to listen to what Balajic was saying, and that was the discussion. But it's going to be another warning, and I think that's warranted. There was nothing that I saw that deserved a point deduction.
Right, I agree.
Yeah, you hear those boos, I think, just redoubled. If they were already coming out Badakhshi for just taking that low blow to begin with, now it's going to go even further with him trying to ask for that point deduction to try to even up from what happened earlier with that late blow in round number 1.
Well, whatever happens, they definitely got this capacity crowd here at the Salisbury Center jacked up. They're ready for blood right now.
Well, hey, I mean, come on, let's not take anything away from this fight. This fight has been, I know you compared it to Forrest Griffin against Stephen Bonner. This fight has been a barn burner. I mean, these guys have been fighting from round 1 to even, I mean, especially round 3. Did you guys see the last couple minutes there?
Yeah, and the crazy part is they both look fresh. There's not a lot of damage done. I mean, even though Misbah's been absorbing a ton of leg kicks in this fight, and he's still walking around like nothing's going on. Oh, and there's another one.
Yeah, his leg's going to be a little sore tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wow, both guys with some great boxing on the inside.
Oh, he's trying to stomp it
right
out
back
there.
to it.
That leg kick hurt. Just as I said that, commentator curse.
Ziraldo, good control, center stage, but it is going to be Badakhshi forcing himself right back up. Clinch initiated now. Going to break up, immediately go to hooks on either side. Mouth open, Julien Ziraldo definitely feeling the pressure coming through. Badakhshi looking for a way in, and that is going to be the end of the fight as well.
Wow.
Ziraldo.
Great fight. Wow. Listen to this audience. Wow. Cagezilla 85 audience here. And our third fight of the night is on fire. Everybody's on their feet already. And we're just getting started, guys.
Yeah, unbelievable stuff. I really don't know how you're supposed to score this one. The big swings of momentum, the big stops of momentum as well, Brand, especially with those low blows coming through at the tail end of round number 3. It makes me really wonder how the judges are perceiving these two, how things have been scored so far. But I gotta say, for my money at the very least, the crowd are on the side of Julien Ziraldo, and I think I am too.
Yeah. If the judges somehow rule it for the blue corner, not to take anything away from Misbah because he fought a heck of a fight, and man, he came out guns blazing. But I, like you say too, Chris, I kind of was leaning towards Julien in this one. I thought he edged it out.
Yeah, and I definitely think that Badakhshi not able to get that point deduction while also being deducted that point in round number 1 will also hurt him.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays into the judges' scorecards. I'm really curious to see, in Misbah, in another close decision fight here. In his last one, it was a super close fight as well with Jacob Pays, and now with a split decision there, and I think we might be down to another close one here tonight.
Chris Fuller talking with the judges, getting the scorecards, and we're about to get this one made official.
Ladies and gentlemen, while we are waiting for the judges' scorecards to be official, I wanted to say a very special hello and welcome to Cagezilla to my good friends, UFC veterans, Sadiq Yusuf and Tefon Chakli right here in the ring.
Got some UFC fighters in the building, in the corner for Misbah Badakhshi, getting some good insight from his teammates and coaches there. And but Julien, man, he came out with one coach, and I thought he fought a heck of a fight. Let's get the official decision here from our ring announcer, Chris.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to a judge's scorecard for a decision. But before we do, let's hear it for both these fighters putting on a great show. That is what Cagezilla Fights is all about right there, ladies and gentlemen. Great job. All right, now, Judge 1 has scored the bout 30-26, Judge 2 has scored the bout 29-27, and Judge 3 has scored the bout 30-26, all in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. Out of the red corner, it's Julien Ziraldo!
And just hear that crowd erupt. Brett happy with the decision here. Julien Ziraldo in his Cagezilla debut will walk away with the victory.
Wow, congratulations. I can't wait to see young Ziraldo here back inside the Cagezilla cage. What a great performance from this young guy.